Welcome to the Daily Dad podcast, where we provide one lesson every day to help you with your most important job, being a dad. These are lessons inspired by ancient philosophy, by practical wisdom, and insights from dads all over the world. Thank you for listening, and we hope this helps. They deserve to be sheltered, somewhat. In 1960, John F. Kennedy made a pretty startling admission to journalist Hugh City. Such was his life of privilege and wealth growing up, he explained that despite being a teenager for the bulk of the 1930s, Kennedy had almost no firsthand knowledge of the Great Depression. His family was rich, they lived in big houses, they traveled just as they always had. He noticed that his father had hired extra gardeners so that the men could work and eat, but that was about it. I really did not learn about the Depression, Kennedy revealed, until I had read about it at Harvard. Can you imagine? It's nearly unbelievable. More important, it's completely inexcusable. In 1935, the year that Kennedy turned 18, unemployment in America was 19%. The economy was dramatically shrinking. Tens of thousands of veterans had marched on Washington in those years and had to be dispersed with troops for fear that they might start a revolution. To think that his father had not talked to him about any of this is nuts, especially because of the obligation that the fortunate have to consider and care for the unfortunate. But it does raise a good question. How much should we shelter our kids from the scariness of the world? How much should we protect them from knowing about the day-to-day events of the world that they are not to blame for, that they can't do anything about? Selfishness aside, there is something sweet about the Kennedy kids missing what must have been a terrifying and stressful ordeal for anyone and everyone. It's sweet to think that there must have been plenty of other less fortunate parents who were trying to do the same thing. They let their kids play, they reassured them, they gave them toys and games and chores to distract them so that they, the adults, could focus on solving the problems of providing and caring for them. That is our job as fathers. We're a buffer. We have to keep unnecessary stress away. We shelter them from the storm. Our spouse, our support network, that's who we have to bear the burden of these times with. Our kids? Let them be kids. Don't keep them in a bubble, of course, so complete that they are immune to knowing how good they have it, but don't make them bear what isn't theirs to bear. Again, that's on us. Thank you for listening to the Daily Dad podcast. You can also get an email version of these podcasts at dailydad.com.